Hello, we are back with Gemma to look at her human design chart. So this is new to Gemma, first time she's been introduced to this tool. So we like to describe it as your unique how-to operating manual. So it's a bit of like how you were designed to come here and operate energetically on an energetic level, okay? So it's got some really good insights, and we might even switch to gene keys, which is more like the who, right? Because I think there's some fascinating bits in that, especially after what we've just heard from having a conversation with you. So I'll give you the highlights and what this means, because again, talking about overwhelm on your episode, this can be slightly overwhelming when you first look at it. It's like, what the heck? So this is your body graph over here, and that's what that's where we glean the information that is over here, which is telling us about your energy type and some of the high level stuff. So you can see here your type is a splenic projector. So ignore the splenic for a minute. Sounds potentially painful. It's not. Projector. So we have 4 energy types. I'm a manifester, so I'm here to initiate. I have a closed and repelling aura, which sounds delightful, but it's just so that I can focus, and those that are not meant for me are like literally repelled. Then we have our generators and manifesting generators, and they have this big, open, welcoming, big, warm hug like aura, and they're here to be our builders. They take what the manifestors initiate and they build it out in the world. Then we have our projectors, and projectors are like 20% of the population. So it's one of the rarer types. Generators are around 70%, manifestors 10%. Then we have our reflectors on the other end. They're kind of like our feedback loop, if you like. But our projectors are our guides and advisors, all right? So your energy type, your aura is kind of focused and absorbing. And you focus in on someone else. Like right now, you would be focusing in on my G center, which is this diamond here in the center. And this is all about direction and identity and love. So that all resides in our G center. So your energy kind of focuses in on someone's G center, and you have a good idea around their identity, around their direction in life. Okay. The key for projectors is to ensure that you're going by your strategy, which is to wait for the invitation. So you can be the best guide, but if you go round giving your advice unsolicited, without people asking you for it, without people inviting you to give your advice, then it's just going to be met with resistance. So that is key for you as a projector, is to ensure that you're waiting for the invitation. And that doesn't mean leaning back, doing nothing. It's almost like you want to become the invitation. So actually a lot of what you're doing on your social media, for example, is you doing that. You're becoming that invitation for people to reach out to you and ask. They want your advice and they want your guidance in life. Now, the splenic bit, this is your inner authority. And you said something in our main interview around being a little bit woo-woo and kind of knowing. This is from your spleen, okay? So this is your spleen over here. This is where primal fears and instincts and intuition reside, okay? So you see it's coloured in and all these others are white. These two are your kind of strengths, your G center, identity, sense of direction, love, and instinct, intuition. Big strength for you, and your authority. So this is something you can trust 100%. When you get to understand the kind of, it's less of a voice and it's less of a feeling, it's more of a knowing what you do next. And also in the spleen, it's all about what keeps you healthy. All right, so what you've got is this beautiful, and you can see it's connected with this line here, which is called a channel. This is your ability to know what is healthy for you and also for others, and give them that guidance and direction. So like on point in terms of what it is you're doing in the world. Now, I just wanted to pick out this because this is a talent of yours, this channel. So you've got this one channel we can hone in on. The 57 is intuition. So this is the gate of intuition. It's the doorway. You have the consistent access to the energy of intuition. All right, so this is a gift of yours. And then the 10 is, where's the 10 gone? In your G center is, it's the behavior of the self and the love of self. And I'm like, of course it is. Because what are you doing? So you're using your intuition to guide and advise people to love themselves and to look at their behavior so that it's more loving of themselves. That's a talent that you're absolutely utilizing right now in the work that you're doing, which I thought was beautiful. And then the other thing I liked, so just to talk about a little bit about the whiteness. So this is, if it's white with some gates defined, with some numbers highlighted, it means you're undefined. And it just means you don't have that consistent access to the energy of that center. For example, down here, you have the root. So this is where you feel pressure to move and take action. So it doesn't mean you don't feel pressure to move and take action. It just means you don't have consistent access to the strength of being able to move and take action. It might mean that you feel more pressure to move than others that do have definition there and just have a consistent way of moving. But also your head, you'll notice, is completely white, it doesn't have any gates defined. So this is the mental pressure. So it might, when you're completely open, it just means you're likely to absorb and amplify perhaps the thoughts and the ideas of other people around you. So that's just something to be aware of, because when you have openness in that and you go, I don't have any consistent way of necessarily processing ideas, and I might not necessarily know if the idea is mine or not, and you get comfortable with that, then there is potential for that to become a real skill of yours as well. So whilst we hone in on the definition, the coloured centres, there's all this whiteness has also got some potential in there as well. And then the other thing that I wanted to pull out was, so let's talk about your profile for a minute. So we've got two numbers here, the 1 and the 3. This is like the roles you came here to play and like how you're perceived in the world. So your 1 line is, it's the investigator. So it's the detailed, like foundational authority, if you like. So it's knowing your details, it's getting into the science of things, it's doing your year-long breathwork course, and it's really getting to understand the detail and why it is that you're doing something, why it is that you're advising a certain way, and really becoming the authority on that. But the 3 line is, it says martyr there. It's not a very nice word, some of these things, but it's like trial and error. So through your life, you've very much taken the lessons, learning from it, and then implementing it. And also through that trial and error in your life, as you move through, you're able to then share that and use that as advice and guidance for others. So that's your 1-3 line. And then the other thing that I just touch on is the incarnation cross. It's all about your purpose in life, your genius in life, your life's work, if you like. And yours is penetration, right angle cross of penetration 4, which says nothing really. But if I just read you a little bit about the blurb that you get if you just search for this online, this cross carries the energy of getting noticed through your ambition. So you definitely are ambitious. We've heard about that in your career so far. So it gets you noticed. People recognize you for what you do, and you also get to the point, not likely to beat around the bush, but just to get it and get it done. And this, where does it say? Your 10, if you were asked to be thorough with an assignment, so there could be a potential for you to want to get something done really quickly, and it's actually in the ability to kind of step back and know why you're doing something and not rush through it, that is actually going to be most beneficial for other people. But what's more helpful actually is when we go and look at your gene keys, which I haven't talked so much about, but what I loved about this when I looked at yours quickly, the gene keys kind of gives us a bit more of the feminine language. If the human design is kind of like the masculine structured way of how we do something, the gene keys gives us like the feminine language of who we came here to be. And both in your life's work, which is up here, and your purpose down here, look at the words on like the enlightened kind of version. It's ascension and it's awakening. And they're two big kind of words that describe, I guess, the journey that you're on, and the fact that you're here to ascend, to have this awakening, and to then be that guide from that place, which I think is really beautiful as well. And there's some, as you look through here, there's words like light and harmony and light again and divine will. So the fact that you said you're quite woo-woo, this is like on point for that as well, because I have never seen these words in a chart before. I've not seen ascension and awakening before in someone's chart. So here they are, and that's a big part of the essence of who you are and the path that you're on. And look at what the radiant sphere is what keeps you healthy. And again, you've got your intuition, which gives you clarity about what keeps you healthy. You know this for yourself, and you know this for your clients. So I thought that was really beautiful in terms of like a reflection of what we know about you, having just met you through your chart.
Yeah,
I don't know how that was
great.
hear.
Yeah, no, all of those things. I mean, it's amazing when it connects the dots, doesn't it? And you know, what you were saying about the awakening thing is so, well, it definitely like resonates with me, because I do feel that, you know, there is, since I'm like transitioning into this, like you know, I turned 40 in January, and I feel like this is a sort of, you know, almost like a launch pad of like awakening of like, you know, what your limits are. Maybe they're not limits, you know, maybe you can ascend beyond those limits. So yeah, that was super interesting. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Welcome. So for anyone listening that's also intrigued about what their human design might be, I have a course called the HD Initiation, which is free. You can go and download it. There'll be a link below. You just go, it's a step-by-step guide on how to run your own chart, how to start to read that kind of like high level information that I've just shared with Gemma, and what to do next with it. So go download.
I think sometimes knowing, I think sometimes knowing your strengths, or even if you hear them, it resonates with you, it can be the catalyst for change.
Absolutely.
Aren't it? So, you know, so sometimes, I don't know, I remember when I was at school, we used to do these like career tests, and it would come back and tell you you're this type of person or this type of person. And I don't like to put people in boxes, but there is a certain amount of like science behind those things. And I feel that anything, if you hear something and it lands with you and it feels like it's got energy, and this goes to my, you know, the woo-woo side of things, like, I think go for it.
Yeah, run with it.
I think it's there for a reason, and you have to listen to it.
Yeah, totally. And that's what I love about looking at this, because you go, oh, that really resonates. And if you focus on that strength in that, or that gift, you can see how easy it becomes. Like, it's easy, it's natural to you, it's your natural nature. So why wouldn't you do more of that? So yeah. Thanks for letting me read your chart. That was awesome.